I've mentioned before on this channel that in 2023 I was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. I've also mentioned that I had let it go for so long that it started affecting the closest relationships to me. And in June of 2023, my fiance Jess had let me know that she could not continue our relationship based on how it's been going because things have not been good for quite a long time. Jess had decided that she needed some space away from me and to give us a little bit of a break to be able to work things out. So, at the end of the summer, we had all woken up very early to see our Jess pack up and move to the East Coast. And in anticipation of this day, I knew I was going to have to do something to help get my mind off things. Therapy has taught me to deal with things as they come, not to bottle them down and not to shove them aside and just say, well, this is life and this is just what happens. And at the same time, I knew that if I had sat around the house all day, probably wasn't going to be the greatest thing for my mental health. So I planned a trip this day on purpose, escaping to the state of Washington, going to my favorite location in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness. And my good friend Ethan was cool enough to actually come with me on this trip. So, with a couple days planned off work, and nothing with our backpacks full of some food and some tents, we headed out to a new location I was very excited to see. This trip was not intended for me to run away from my problems or feelings of the events that had just occurred, but rather it was a place that I felt like I could experience everything that I was feeling, being out doing what I love, which is exploring the Pacific Northwest. We are back up in Washington. Seems like my only trips I've done over the summer has just been to Washington. Washington's great. I love Washington. There's so much more mountainous areas to explore than Oregon and Washington. Trying something different this video. Honestly, I'm up here for personal reasons. Might explain that later. Might explain it during the voiceover. Not really sure. Just trying to clear my head. Just trying to get out in nature and just trying to just do my thing because, I mean, it's been really weird last 4 weeks, 5, 6 weeks. I'm not really sure. And this morning was rough. This morning I ended up saying goodbye to my fiance, who is moving to the East Coast, to Washington, D.C. area, where she will spend the rest of her time for her first year of school over there, and then she'll be moving to Maine at the end of February. Didn't really want to sit at home, didn't really want to mope, so took a couple days off. It's Monday. Never do stuff like this on Monday, ever. I'm just taking some mental health days, so I came up here, Alpine Lakes Wilderness. It's great to be back. Here with Ethan, of course. He was super cool to come with me. Today we're just looking to get some epic golden hour shots, even though the weather doesn't look like it's gonna be on our side. I'm down here because I'm trying to escape the wind. It is so windy. It is so windy here, and it's cold. It's freezing. I instantly put all these clothes on as soon as we stopped. So found our camping spot, set up our tents. I got a new tent, one-man tent. I wanted to get one that was big enough to fit Goku in because I wanted to start bringing him on a lot of these trips. Just found out I could have brought him on this trip. I didn't know that. There's been several dogs, people walking out. Ethan and I are literally the only ones here, and we're stoked, so we're gonna kind of hang out, gather our bearings, and find some spots to do some shots. Camp is all set up and we've been chilling for quite a bit. It is freezing, I'm not gonna lie, it is super cold. So we're gonna go, I don't think we're gonna get anything tonight just because the way the sun hits these lakes. That's south, that's north, and the only thing we have is that peak way over there. And I don't think anything's gonna really happen. So we have a spot that we wanna hit tomorrow for sunrise, which we don't even know if it's gonna be good or not, but that is up there. So we're gonna do a scouting mission, go up on the south side, and see how it looks. Climbed all the way up this other side, and it's an amazing view. Absolutely beautiful, breathtaking view of the lakes, but it's not the shot we want because we want to get both lakes in the shot. So Ethan's somewhere up there climbing around like a maniac. I'm down here. Gotten some good shots so far, but I mean, yeah, we're just trying to get more of the lakes incorporated into the photo versus just one of them. Man, these peaks look nuts. I gotta take a picture of these. Wow. Okay, so God, my hair sucks right now, man. This is a beautiful, beautiful vantage point, and I kind of want to go down there to see if it's going to be any better, but you can just see the lakes. It looks just like a bunch of tarns leading up to this mountain that's lit, and it's just amazing looking. This is absolutely sick. I love this. So I think I'm going to scout out a little bit more, head down a lot of little spots, see how it goes, but this is what I came up here for. Got a break in the weather. Thank God. I probably would have cried if we didn't get a break, some sort of break. I'm so happy right now, but this looks fantastic. So not sure if I'll come back here for sunrise, but we might. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. This was supposed to be a sunrise, like scouting mission, but we're getting beautiful pictures right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I absolutely love it up here, man. I love it up here. It's so therapeutic. It's amazing. officially found our spot for sunrise. It is freezing. The wind is picking up. I am so cold. I can see my breath sometimes. So we're gonna pack it up and try to find our way down this. So we have a path that we can follow on the way up in the dark for sunrise. We'll get back to the tent. I'm gonna warm up and make some food. Oh my God. What an amazing sunset. That was well worth the traversing and bullshit of just getting up here. After the sun had set, Ethan and I had made our way back down to the tents. We wanted a very early start for the next day because we were going to pack up all of our things and head to the sunrise spot. So after filling up our waters and eating some food, and honestly just having a really good time being out in the wild, I then tried filming this stupid outro that I forgot to turn the mic on, but I think you can see the change in mood I have just from my face. Because although the day had started in tragedy, I felt like it had ended on a pretty good note. Unfortunately, the next morning was not the sunrise we were expecting. We had woken up well over an hour before the sun was expected to rise to pack up camp and get to our spot. But we were met by clouds, which often happens in the Pacific Northwest. But even though it wasn't the view that we were hoping for, I couldn't think of a better place to be in at that time to make some coffee and enjoy what was in front of us. Obviously, there is no sunrise to be had this morning, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm pretty stoked that we got a good sunset last night, so not too upset about it. We ended up waking up super early, packing up all of our stuff because we did not want to walk back down there, get our stuff, and come back up. So packed everything up, and I think we're just gonna go ahead and head out as soon as I finish this cup of coffee. I will say though, watching these clouds move and drinking coffee has been an ethereal experience, and I'm gonna take that because that's a beautiful view. And then drink some coffee in the morning with that view, I'm fine with that. I'll take that. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and end it. Thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I put a video out every single week about this kind of stuff. If you like explore lifestyle kind of things, if you like van life, any of that kind of stuff, or just seeing the Pacific Northwest and its beauty, please hit subscribe. I put a video out every single week. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye. taking these kind of journeys and exploring these areas is something I love to do more than anything at this point in my life. And I am grateful that I was able to do so after what I had said was the second saddest day of my life. And even though that the catalyst for me starting therapy was to help fix myself for Jess and I to stay together, sadly, it was not enough to be able to mend our relationship. And at the beginning of 2024, Jess had let me know that she did not feel any different from when she first told me back in June. And it is absolutely not fair to her, nor I, to continue the relationship when someone is not in it anymore. So, even though I started therapy because of this, I've seen over the last 9 months that regardless of Jess and I needed to do this for me.